Yay. All right, so today's team call, maybe if we get started. Come on, thing. Who's chatting? Oh. All right, Q. There we go. Ta-da. You guys see this? Anybody not on mute? Can you see this?
The screen? Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't see you guys, so I was like, can you guys all see this? I have no idea where my other stuff went.
I can see it.
Perfect. All right, so team call today is on taking initiative. First off, we're going to do a little bit of team business, just in case you guys have been absent from the page or not paying attention to your online office or anything like that. Just for anyone catching up on this call, they can see what's going on in our business. Just a little quick definition of initiative, and then why people don't take it, and then how to take more. Very simple. Team business, as some of you have known, I think Jasmine was the first one to play on our website. Team Beachbody.com got an overhaul where now we have the shareable carts, so you can actually build whatever package you're trying to get a client to purchase and shoot them a link to that cart, so they don't have to go look for anything anymore. They don't have to go hunt and be like, what pack am I trying to find? What do you want me to do? You can actually go build it for them and send it out. Our website now looks like it's not from the early 90s. It's actually manageable and like better graphics, and everything is very easy to find, except for where to find like help and questions. It's just a question mark up at the top. So I did discover that. That's where all your FAQs and your how to contact people are. So play on the new website if you guys haven't already. It's pretty fun. It's now much better to send your customers to, and you're not like, here's my janky 1990 website for products. So that's pretty cool. 80-Day Obsession is coming. The bundles are now available to purchase. I want to say Q has already purchased one of hers. Arnell posted in the group today that if you have coaches who are trying to stay active, and they will be doing 80-Day Obsession, please stop, dogs. This is the cheapest way for them to get 50 points is to get the accessory bundle where you get the sliders and the bands, and I think the containers as well. So I think it's $37-ish and you get 50 points. So probably one of the cheaper ways for your coaches who are struggling to stay active, if they're not getting Shakeology every month, to get the little bundle pack. They also have like $400 bundle packs where it has like month supplies of all of your performance lines. So there's a bunch of different options in there. So definitely get to know your bundles and what you're trying to send clients to. A Little Obsessed comes out again December 20th. We do have a shell of the endurance groups that we can put all of our challengers in there. If you guys aren't running 80-Day Obsession groups, or if you only have like one or two people interested, we are going to host an enduro group page. That way we can put all of our challengers who are going on the same, because as you guys might have known, they did all the workouts live, and they're only releasing a week at a time. They're releasing them, a week at a time. That way you have 7 days of workouts available, but some people are going to work out in the morning, others are going to work out in the afternoon or evening, and all the nutrition is timed, so that we figured if we had a bigger group, we might be able to have some of those people who, like maybe your 4 a.m. workout people, pair up and talk about what they're doing with nutrition, and your afternoon people and all such like that. So we do have a shell group, and we'll start posting that and having everybody jump in if they feel the need. And then Super Saturday or Super whatever weekend. Some of them are Friday nights, some of them are Sundays. So look for Super Saturdays in your area. It's January 6th, or I guess the 5th or the 7th, depending on your area. Arnell posted about the Florida one in the Tampa Clearwater area. It's Saturday morning. So just get on your website, your Beachbody website, and look for Super Saturday events near you. Register if you need to, or if you don't have one around you, create one. And just host one for your local people. All right, initiative. It's a noun, of course. The ability to assess and initiate things independently. And I really can't stand when things use the word in the definition, but literally every definition of initiative has initiate things in it. So that's just what it is. or it's the power or opportunity to act or take charge before others do. Kind of self-explanatory. It's just taking charge and not being a dictator, but just if you're seeing something that needs to be done, and just do it. So some reasons why people don't take initiative, and I've listed these 6, and I'm going to go into a little bit of further depth because initiative is hard. It's a skill that sometimes you have to learn. We are definitely a procrastination nation. And everyone really likes to focus on things when the deadline is due immediately. If we have a very long deadline, or we don't even have a deadline, sometimes we don't even want to do things. It's like, why bother? It's not due. What's it going to get me? So some reasons why is bounded reality. And this is where people don't see past what they don't know. Kind of like, if they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, then how are they knowing that they need to be doing it, right? It sounds silly, but it's true. We can be functionally blinded by our own expertise and experience. So just because we live in our little bubble, sometimes we can't get out of that bubble to kind of see the next step or see something to go further. And when our rationality is bounded, we might find it easier to ignore the problem and hope it will just go away. So if you only have X amount of skills or X amount of viewpoints, and you're kind of like, maybe, that's out of my realm, that's somebody else's problem, I'm just going to hope that goes away eventually. Next is the lack of capability. This is when we're confronted with a task or situation entirely out of our experience or expertise. People with the lack of knowledge to do what is asked. So this can sometimes be where people don't want to ask questions because they don't want to seem stupid. The way they kind of have that judgment with it. They may not understand the directions that are given. There are a lot of different communication styles, and sometimes just because something might be communicated in a way that you aren't receiving, that might be the one issue, is that you need it explained in a different way, or maybe someone's an auditory learner where you're a visual learner. So it's just where things aren't matching up. So people are just kind of scared to ask clarification questions. And sometimes they just don't know what's even being asked or required. So that's kind of the basis. Management search and rescue, which is kind of a fun one, which is kind of silly. People simply see simple inaction as a viable strategy. So if you just sit and wait, someone else will do it for you. And those are the search and rescuers. So we all have those people we all had group projects in school where 4 people were gung-ho doing our parts. And then that last little dude is just hanging out there like, somebody's going to do this for me if I don't speak up and do it. And so managers need to take note of this style so that they don't rescue these people. This teaches people that they don't need to be accountable, and then it also robs them of the experience of learning from their mistakes. If someone's always bailing you out of something, you're not learning anything from that. You're just kind of keep doing status quo because there's always going to be someone to save you. And then if the people that you rescue this way, they don't learn to think critically, and they don't learn to develop viable solutions to their challenges. So they're not growing, they're not learning, they're not expanding their research or knowledge base. Execution over innovation. And this is kind of where those people are that are planning to plan, and checking things off their to-do list. They are excellent at planning. They are excellent at execution. If you give them a task of A, B, and C, they are going to do A, B, and C and get it done. And then they're never going to look for a D or an E or an F. They are so task-driven that they're more concerned about working through the list of to-dos than taking on new tasks that might seem more gray area. Like if you tell them to take out the trash, they're like, got it, take out the trash. If you tell them to separate the laundry, they're like, what do you mean separate the laundry? They're kind of like, well, what do you want? I don't even understand. So they really need everything to be clear cut, what to do, when to do it, and they can't see a kind of an area where it could be improved or maybe find a new solution. Their list is actually more important than the skill of figuring out a new solution. So they're very much like, I did my to-do list. Hurrah. Did you learn anything? No, but I did my to-do list. That's those kind of people. Task overload is another reason. So people that have so much on their plate that they simply cannot process one more assignment. These overworked people actually shut down. They kind of are like, I'm not going to do anything else. I can't do anything else. I'm too busy. And they often do this without telling anyone that they're overloaded. So they just the challenge or the new assignment goes unaddressed. We all have those people that are walking around with like the frazzled hair and like 18 pens stuck in it. And they're just like, I'm fine. We're okay. Just give me all the work. I can do it. And they're completely frazzled, but still yet taking on more work. And so they just kind of like put it on a to-do pile, and it sits on the to-do pile until it molds and dies, things like that. So people that are overloaded with tasks. And then the last one is ignorance by convenience. This is kind of a little dynamic. This is kind of that whole ignorance is bliss. It's really easy for us to say that we're ignorant or we can't be held accountable for what we don't know how to do or what we simply don't do. That's kind of like that's not my job excuse we kind of hear. They actually would rather accept consequences for failing to act at all than rather face consequences for doing the wrong thing. So they'd rather be like, oops, I forgot, as opposed to, yeah, I did that, but I guess I didn't do it very well. So kind of like their ignorance in certain times and certain locations and certain, whatever they want to do. Like, it's not my problem. So there are kind of some reasons why people don't take initiative. And we have this a lot, honestly, with, we'll see it all in our new coaches especially, because sometimes we all paint the picture of, coach life is amazing, which it is. And, coach life is very rewarding, which it is. But coach life takes a lot of work. And sometimes and that's a fault of all of us, is that we don't really fully prepare our new coaches for just how much work it is going to be. And it's still kind of very much the employee mindset. Like we're all kind of just born into, not really born into, but that's just the way of the world of the employee mindset. It's like, okay, well, now you're this age, you're going to go get a job, you're going to go work for somebody. No one ever says, now you're this age, go build a business. So we're all just kind of like, we're always going to automatically work for somebody else. So when we're employees, we show up, we might get we might be a manager level where we get a key and get to open the door. But for the most part, we show up, we clock in, we do what we need to do. We don't have to worry about how the furniture got there, how the food got there, how any kind of product or supplies got there. We don't have to worry about if the light bill got paid. We don't have to worry about any of that. We just have to do our task and then go home. And then we get a magical paycheck. If we do that every week, when we're supposed to, as many times as we're supposed to, we get a paycheck. But in the coach life, we don't. If we don't decide to wake up and make a post or wake up and talk to anybody or wake up and talk to our challenge group, we might not make money if we do that numerous days in a row. A lot of people come into the coach business and expect someone to kind of hold their hand and work them through everything. And there are some coaches out there that might do that on smaller teams. But as your team gets bigger, you have to have coaches that take initiative. You have to have coaches that go, I have a problem where I don't know what to do next. What are my options? I've got the internet. Let me Google and see if my answer is found there. Let me go on my coach online office and see if there's an answer there. Let me ask the FAQ section and see if there's an answer there. We're not going to get sales by osmosis. We're not going to turn into a coach and all of a sudden magically it's like a radar turned on and everyone in the world that's your Facebook friend or your social gathering outside goes, oh my gosh, Kiana's a Beachbody coach. Like, I need to go talk to her. I need to give her a bunch of money and like have her fix me. That's just not how it works. And I think a lot of coaches are kind of, they know that it doesn't work that way, but they get stuck on that. Like, well, why is nothing happening for my business? I see, Lindsay Matway and I see, Bonnie Engel, and their businesses are amazing. And they barely talk about the business. They talk about their life. And I make posts about my life. Why is no one throwing money at me? And it's a lot of that taking initiative to find personal development, to take business strategy. If you want to go Google like Simon Sinek or something and listen to how he's talking about innovative business, and being leadership. It's a lot more than just health and fitness. And so this is where I think a lot of our coaches are getting stuck, is that they have literally tons of training tools. Like if you just get on YouTube, you can find a plethora of videos. I think Kiana just found like a bunch of interview videos that are less than 20 minutes long today. And that was a new resource for all of us. There's coach trainings. Lindsay just redid hers. We have our own enduro coach training group where we're actually making posts every day, and you can follow along and make sure you're checking off your assignments. We have the personal development group now. We're reading a book together. So we've taken a lot of steps to kind of guide those new coaches that were looking for more structure, that don't really have that initiative bug in them, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people are very much, let's be an employee. And that's not even just an employee of like a business, it's an employee of life. They're kind of like sit around and wait to be told what to do. Well, a lot of us, as a coach, we take care of our business first and our team and things like that. We don't have time to sit there and go, did you watch your YouTube video today? Or, what are your tasks for today? Or have you made a post today? So a lot of our coaches are kind of stuck in that, what do I need to do? Because they're so used to being an employee mindset that they might not have that initiative bug in them. But you can learn to take initiative. You can learn to be more visual and see, what am I lacking in my business and where can I improve? Or, if the team is lacking something, like, if we think we really need a good kick in the butt on personal development today, and you found a really awesome video by Melanie Mitro on one of her Tuesday talks, you can post it to the group. Don't just keep them to yourself, because what you found that might work and really turn on a light bulb for you might work for the rest of the team as well. So that's what the pages are for. Any coach page available is for sharing with your team. So if you're finding something lacking in that coach page and then you find it on your own, by all means share it, or share with the group, or ask a question, where can I find X, Y, and Z? And that's what everyone is here to help you for. There's 100 and something people on that coach page, and there are about, I don't even say 10. There's probably about 8 of us, maybe even 6 of us that talk on that page regularly, that share development ideas, that share what's up and coming in the business, that are really staying active in our businesses and active with the Coach Online Office, and all of things like that. So I'm really challenging everyone to, if any of these 6 things sound like you, maybe take a little bit look inside and see what you can do to kind of take more initiative. And on that note, there's ways to take more initiative. I wasn't just going to leave you guys hanging. So ways to take more initiative. There are about 9 of these that I listed that I think are kind of really key points that we all should every one of us can do a little bit of these every now and then. You don't have to do all 9 immediately tomorrow, but if there's one that kind of fits better into your lifestyle, or easier for you to acquire into your lifestyle, then by all means, give it a go. So never stand still. People who do the things the way they have always been done will, in best case, get the same results all over again. So for our new coaches out there, you're taking on a brand new business. You're actually just pushing yourself a little bit above that, always doing things the way that things have always been done. So now you're in a new world. So if you go back to your old ways, you're never going to make it in a coach business if you just revert back to that way. So you have to go up another level. You should constantly search for new solutions and more effective approaches. Sure, we might have a coach training that we put in place, and that's working for 99% of our coaches. But if you can find a better way to train people, and people listen and they use it, and they make it work in their business, then by all means, it's a more effective way, and share it with the group. Get our team moving more again. Do more than is required. That is definitely like a go-getter. You can read that in all the books. Anyone that just does A, B, and C because A, B, and C is required isn't going to be innovative, isn't going to be a leader. They're just here to collect a paycheck and move on. So if you want to be exceptional, you have to act exceptional. And then that's kind of what's going to stand you out from the rest of these coaches. If you're just looking like Sally Sue and Susie Q, then why would anybody want to coach up with you? Why would anybody want to join your team if you look like everybody else? So you need to do more. You need to set yourself apart in a different way and make yourself shine and make yourself be exceptional. And concentrate on areas where you can generate the most visible and remarkable results. That's kind of what we hear again. Like, if you suck at making photos or collages or things like that, then don't worry about that. Like, you can worry about graphic design later. Right now, you just need to get your message out, share your story, be relevant, kind of just set that bar. You can work on visuals later, but do things that will help your business right now. Ugh, these dogs. Think as a team member or a leader, not as an employee. And I'm going to keep harping on this because now that we've started reading way more, we've found out that we are just ingrained with this employee mentality. We are just, and when things get tough and we don't have to worry about how product gets where, or, where the red line is, or if we have to start firing anybody, we can zone out and we can collect a paycheck, and that's all we have to do for the rest of our lives. We can be a cog in the wheel. But as an entrepreneur or as a coach, you can't do that anymore, because if you just act like a cog in the wheel, your business will eventually dry up. You will go into the red and you will not have a business any longer. So you can't care and devote yourself fully to something that you don't consider as yours. And I love that, because if you don't consider this business as your business, like you're just filling in a spot for someone above you, like it's not, you're not going to care. If your upline is the only one motivating anyone, then you're not going to care, because it's not something that motivates you. It has to come from you. It has to be creative from you. So you've got to make things, a team. Collaborate with people. If someone above you is just constantly talking because no one else is ever talking, then jump in and say something. Jump in and talk. Jump in and add to the story. Don't just sit there and constantly be talked at, or just have people have one-sided conversations. They're just trying to get their team motivated. When their team's not motivated, step up and say something. Be like, hey, this isn't motivating. This is what works for us instead. So really have that team mindset. Like I said, there's 100 and something of us on the Enduro page and only a handful that are talking. And that's fine if you're downline or upline. If your other teams have other pages where they're branching off and communicating on coach pages there, then that's more than fine. But if you're not active in any coach page anywhere, it needs to change. You need to be active. You need to if you want to set notifications, or I don't have notifications set where they ding or show up on my phone, but they're a little red dot on my Facebook app, so I check it eventually. But you need to have notifications set on your upline page or the Enduro page or the Bombshell page, so you can stay in the know and you can help people out and answer questions. Speak up and share your ideas. Kind of going on the same thing. If you have someone that's constantly just talking because they're, no one else is talking, and they're going to run the show and have their ideas and this and that and the other, and you think you have a great idea or even a not so great idea, speak up, share your idea, go ahead and say it, because there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of great products I'm sure that are out there that have never even, we won't ever know about because someone's too scared to share them with the world. To speak up and kind of, no one wants to look stupid. No one wants to look like an idiot. No one wants to change the norm or status quo. If everyone's swimming, upstream, no one sure as hell wants to swim downstream. I don't know why, because it's easier. But there's always a need for fresh and powerful concepts. So I might think of something one way, and then Jocelyn's like, well, why can't you think about this way? And I'm like, I would have never thought about it that way if you didn't say it. So we all have different brains. We all have different ways of thinking and learning and innovating. And if we all come together and comment and talk on things and share ideas, we can make this team freaking awesome. Last one on this page is fake it till you make it. And don't fake it forever. I'm going to add that to the end. You can't just keep faking it. The greatest answer is, I'm not sure right now, but let me get back to you, or let me research and get back to you. Don't ever tell anybody that you don't know, and just leave it at that. We don't come in as new coaches and know everything there is about coaching. We are still learning. It's 2.5 years in this business, and there's still flipping things that I'm learning every single day. We got a brand new back office. We got a brand new freaking website. None of us know how to use it. Like I had to go navigate around on there and try to find out where everything is. I still haven't tried to share a cart yet, so I don't know that yet. So there's still things we need to learn. But don't act like you're new. Like, don't just kind of sell yourself short and be like, oh, well, I'm just a new coach. I don't really know yet. Let's all learn together. Kind of make it a little bit more confidence. You decided to take on a new coaching opportunity. You decided to say, I want to step up and be a Beachbody coach. And we all sure want to help people, but that is not your why. So confidently be able to say your why, confidently be able to say what you're doing as a coach. Your confidence, gestures, voice, and behavior have a crucial role on your way up the career ladder. So kind of think about that. Like if you're constantly talking monotone about the business, people aren't going to like it. If you're constantly kind of just sitting there all frumpy when you do a live video, if you even do a live video, if you do photos where you're not smiling or look like you're having a good time, people are going to get that. If you look like you hate your life when you work out, that's okay every now and then, because sometimes we have really brutal workouts. But the way you're portrayed to people is going to show through in your images, in your gestures, in your live video, in your voice. So you really want to make sure, like, if you're one of those that's kind of nervous talking to people, like, talk to your dogs. Like, these two right here have learned a bunch about Beachbody that they didn't ever want to know. They learned a lot about Initiative today that they don't ever want to know or care about. But I talk to my dogs because I just, have to hear how it sounds to the universe before I say it to Facebook sometimes. So work on your mannerisms, work on your voice, work on your photogenic pictures and filters, and kind of establish your voice. If you look on someone's page, you can kind of tell, like, I can go to Q's page and I know it's her page because there's Q at work, there's Q in her car. Like, I can tell Jocelyn because she's always doing her workouts, or she's always cooking. You can kind of tell those people's style and their frames and their filters that they use on their page. So kind of make your style. Definitely fake it. If we go back to our first pages, we all look like crap. We have really shitty pages. We use stock photos. You can definitely do all that. And then you'll definitely look back in 2 years and say, that was stupid. Why did I ever do that? We're going to let you do that. But then we're going to try and get you off of that, and where you're doing more curiosity marking, where you're making it your own, where you're trying to sell you as a coach versus the Beachbody products. So definitely fake it and then get your confidence and make it. This is the last slide, people. I didn't go very far. Consider every opportunity. I love this one because opportunities are everywhere. The reason that there are still Beachbody coaches today and that we are still signing up new Beachbody coaches every day and that Beachbody is still existing is that we all have something unique to offer to everybody. This is not a saturated market. You would think so, but freaking America is fat as hell, and there is plenty of room for all of us. And we all have something good to bring to the table. We all have something amazing to bring to the table. So I want you to ask yourselves, what opportunities for growth can I carve out of this situation? How powerful is that? So, Q has like an amazing commute every morning where she's constantly frustrated. If she asks herself, what opportunities for growth can I carve out of this situation? If you have a shitty situation one day, ask yourself that question. If you're taking notes, write that sentence down. What opportunities for growth can I carve out of this situation? Any situation we have, we can make it a growing opportunity. We can learn a lesson from that opportunity. If I choose to sit around and watch Netflix for 5 hours when I come home from work, what can I grow? What can I learn from there? You can find things in anything we do and find an opportunity for growth, which is so impactful and so powerful. So definitely take that phrase and say it in every situation you get, because you can make some powerful posts from being stuck in traffic, from having to wait 45 minutes at your doctor's appointment. Really think about that sentence and consider every opportunity to be possibly impactful and a room for growth. And always be prepared, like a good little Girl Scout or Boy Scout. Always be prepared. Tackle new skills. Redefine your abilities all the time. You should constantly be learning or growing by challenging yourself. We all took on a new challenge by being Beachbody coaches. You know, we didn't just kind of fall into this and someone randomly stole our money every month for the coaching opportunity. We willingly gave this up and we said, I'm going to be a coach. So you need to learn, you need to grow. You should always aim high and constantly grow as both a person and a professional. And I see that there's a lot of people that are willing to grow as a professional. You know, they want to get certifications, they want to get advanced degrees, they want to go to this conference and that conference and watch this CEU. But a lot of people aren't willing to actually take that internally and grow as an actual person. Sure, we all grow either wide or tall or whatever, but people aren't prepared to grow mentally or, you know, spiritually or physically or just a better all around well-rounded person. So not only can you do personal development for, you know, business, you can do personal development for being a happier, less stressed person. You can do personal development for just, maybe you just want to read an actual book. Like if you just want to read Harry Potter, it's going to make you a better person because you're calm, cool, and collected. So always be prepared to learn new skills. And as soon as you see a chance to use an acquired skill, go ahead and use it. You know, that's why we're doing personal development, so that we can learn and we can make these new skills and then we can share them with the world. So if you're reading awesomeness in your personal development, I mean, I've already shared like a million times the 12-week year with my Facebook page. Like, so use that as posts and share that. Because if people see you growing as a person because you had to read a book, then they're going to go, oh, wow, Kim's not as perfect as we think she is. She doesn't have all of her shit together. She's reading a book to help herself. I'm on her level now. You know, we're not these like people on pedestals anymore to look up to. We're real people who are doing things to better ourselves. Be self-promotional. This is freaking, you have to do this. You have to have a little cockiness in you to make it in this business. Now, you don't want to be, I'm better than Susie Q, so F her and come with me, but you definitely want to be like, I'm flipping awesome and let me show you why. If you firmly believe in something, don't accept every criticism you receive. Some people are critical because they don't like themselves and they see something in you that they wish they had, and they're going to try and tear you down. So take that into consideration, that sometimes it's not you personally. It might be something that they wish they have, and they really, really don't like that you have that. So you can't take everything sensitively. You need to have a thick skin, and you need to get a thicker skin, especially now in this kind of social media world where MLMs are everywhere, and there are quite a few of them that have been doing them terribly wrong and giving a lot of us a bad name. So as soon as you say, I'm a Beachbody coach, or I'm a new, you know, I'm fitness motivator, yada, yada, people are going to be like, oh my God, you're trying to sell me something, get away. So things have been done wrong for so long that you need to actually learn what to do right, and to be a little cocky, to be like, yeah, I know my stuff. I like working out. I know nutrition. I can definitely help you. I've helped X, Y, and Z person. They have amazing goals. I'll refer you to them if you want to talk to them about what happened for their life or what changed. And I was a part of that, and I'd love to be a part of it for you too. Definitely use this time to be promotional for yourself, because we want to make money, dang it. And we also want to help people, and we also want to be awesome. Last one, very last one. Ask too many questions. And I know that sounds silly. Why would you want to ask too many questions? But people who have the knowledge can take more initiative. If you only ask what needs to be done, they're going to tell you what needs to be done. You're going to do it, and that's going to be it. Well, what needs to be done? Well, what if we improve this? Or what about, is there another way to do this? You know, ask a lot of questions. You should know how things work and how you can improve them. Try to observe everything going on around you as much as you can. If you walk with your head down on your phone, you're never going to see the world around you. Maybe there was someone who was looking at you, hoping they could ask you a question, but you look too busy with your phone, so they didn't want to walk up to you. You know, kind of take in things around you. If you don't know an answer, Google. If you don't find it on Google, look in your online office. If you don't find it there, look in the FAQs. If you don't find it anywhere around there, throw it out to your team, the Enduro page or the Bombshell page if no one answers you on Enduro. But we're all going to do better at answering questions on Enduro, right? So there's places, there's access. Ask questions if you don't know. Usually they're like one click away for one of us to find, or if we can't find it, we'll get back to you, or we'll go find someone in our upline who has the answer for you. It's a really great way to contribute growth to your organization, you know, over and over again, just constantly asking questions, constantly having that curious mind and seeing where you can go above and beyond. So ta-da! I did it, guys. That's all I had. I hope this would really help our team kind of get their initiative back, to kind of get where we're asking questions, where we're doing things, where we're sharing with the team, because honestly, we're not. Let's go. That was the educational part. Here's the real talk. We're not doing crap with our team. Our team is stagnant. We actually have a lot of people on this call, which I'm really proud to have. But of course, it's the same people who are always on the call. And we need to improve that. We're constantly getting new coaches. We need to stress them the importance of these calls for our team. And of course, the replays are always available when we get the recordings to work right, which they have been lately. So which is really great. And so I encourage you all, we always have the replays, to log on, play the replay. And get your team engaged. You know, if you have a coach page off of the Enduro page, bring it to your coach page and say, hey guys, I don't know if you saw this on the Enduro page, but here's the coach call from Thursday night. Let me know what your thoughts are. You know, engage conversation, because all we're doing right now is kind of just going, here's the team call. See ya. We don't ever engage conversation or bring these topics from these calls into our Enduro page. We kind of just have a Thursday night call, everyone waves, and then we move on. Like, we see you again next Thursday. And then the page might be silent unless something comes out, where, you know, we had announcements for Super Saturday, we had challenge packs come out. Then the page gets a little active. Someone might find a really awesome personal development thing. They might share it. It's usually the same 6 people sharing things. We have new coaches, like I said, 110 people. Let's get them engaged. If they're not engaged, find out why. Is it not their learning style? Do they have their notifications turned off? Are they not wanting to be an active coach right now? Cool deal. That's fine. But find out. We have all these silent little creepers, which is cool, and that's awesome. I love having them here, but I really hope that they're getting everything that they want fulfilled from this team. We've tried different methods. We have a coach training group, a day-by-day coach training group. We have a self-service, do what you want to do coach training group. We have scripts for questions. We have scripts for objections. We have challenge group outlines and guides. We're constantly hosting challenge groups for ourselves and more than willing to put people in them. We're all very friendly and open and willing to help these people if they want to run a challenge group or a coach sneak peek. The National Wake Up Call, the Bombshell Call twice a month, this call every Thursday. There's no reason for this team not to be engaged, not to be constantly chattering or talking, maybe not in work hours because we all work jobs. But, you know, you should at least check it once a day and check in. Hey, team, how's it going? Hey, team, I'm really struggling today because it's like holidays and there's cookies flipping everywhere. What do I do? What are you using for a strategy? Help me make a good post. Or like, hey, I want to shoot this post out to the world, but I think it sounds like shit. Help me fix it, you know? Like, or maybe this image isn't great, but I want you guys to help me make this image better. Use this page or use a page. So if you're not using this page, use your own coach page. Use somebody's page to go ask these questions. There are 100 people. I'm going to keep harping on this because there are literally like 8 people on this call. And we have 100 people in this group. And I understand Thursdays are not the most ideal day for everybody. Not everybody was going to be on the team call at once. But we have access to all these things. So everyone, please try to engage your team to participate. That's how we all learn each other. That's how we all know each other. That's how we all like communicate. We get to interact with people all over the flipping country. Granted, most of us are in Florida. Shane's the oddball way across the ocean. Oh, and Arnell's here. Ha! You know, so we've got some that are across the ocean that are, get out of my face, that are doing this call. So engage your team. It's a quick little call. It's 1 hour. We're usually amped up and excited. and I've talked for most of it. So, ta-da! Okay, bye. Anybody? Cool. Okay, done. No,
That was really good, Kim.
Thanks.
So we're gonna do the same type of gist.
Sorry, hold on.
I think that they're really good.
I was like, what is going on?
I was trying to get me and Jocelyn's interview for STB uploaded to YouTube, and it finished right then when I unmuted and started playing. Anyways, so that was really, really good, Kim. I think that this is, to be honest with you guys, this is the key that's missing for anybody who's struggling, because it's the initiative that will make things happen. Like, you have to take action in order to make things happen. Like, that's just basic science. Like, nothing's going to move unless something makes it move, right? So you have to do it. And I think you touched on so many important things, like, maybe it's not your learning style, maybe it's not, and we have to recognize that, not everybody learns the same way. And I think that's why we have taken some time, especially in like the middle of the third quarter and now into the fourth quarter of the year, to really try to bring some different things to the team, to try to touch each person in a way that works for them. And, starting this can be very overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming. I remember when I was a new coach and I was so lost, and I messaged Darnell and I'm like, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. And he was just like, well, you're not even in the group and you haven't even started new coach training and you haven't even tasted Shakeology yet. So you need to get your crap together and do something. Right. And so finally, when I did that, that's when things happened, but nothing was going to happen as long as I was just chilling. And it can get overwhelming and it is uncomfortable. But a lot of the stuff you can do completely offline. No one's watching you and you're exploring the files and taking advantage of these groups that we have going. And it's really just making the decision when you'd normally just be mindlessly scrolling Facebook or whatever, to mindlessly scroll the files. I mean, at least do that, because you're going to maybe by osmosis to get something like in your mind, but we do, guys, we have so many resources. Like, there's literally nothing that can't be figured out. And we are here to support everybody. Every coach on this team needs support. Like, it's not just those of us that are here that are leaders that are helping other people. Like, we need help too, like there's some days that suck and you're like, dude, I'm so not inspired right now. Like, everything else in life is just like super annoying. And I'm just like, wah, I need some life, So it's just a matter of making the decision to do something and start somewhere. So thank you, Kim.
Sure.
I think it might be beneficial for the Enduro group, for those that are active, to go back and tell your coach story and post it to the page. Go back and say just what Q just said. I didn't know crap when I became a coach, or in some cases, in my case, I lost my way, but I'm still here. It's okay for you to come back, start asking questions, and get back into it. Just start over. I mean, it's hard to flip the mindset from this is where I used to be and this is where I am now. So it's kind of hard to start over. But I think just like in our personal pages and our coach pages, if we just start bringing the subject up in multiple ways of, hey, let's start over. It's okay. Let's get back active. Even if you're, and I think in some cases what we're seeing in the Enduro group is their coach is no longer active.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not being active. And it may be that a group of us need to go through the members list and say, okay, I've got this 50 people. Let me friend them and ask them what their situation is, or if we can find out who owns who as far as coach wise, and then weed those people out, and then everybody left more than likely doesn't have an upline coach. So, I mean, it may just be just
That is
reaching out.
absolutely against taking initiative. Not my problem. Like, if you're not taking initiative in your business, then I'm not going to want it for you. Like, and I get that point. I get it, like hunting them down and asking them what's going on, but that's not taking initiative. Like, do you think someone goes to the CEO of Subway and says, hey, did you work your business today? Did you open your door today? No. It's tough love, but it needs to be said. Like,
That's fine. But if it we can't keep harping on the 100 people that are in the group without knowing what's going on.
I get what both of you guys are saying. I think that as the sponsoring coach, there is a level of responsibility to, reach out to your people. But there has to come a point. I think that the difference between what both of you guys are saying is there comes a point where you have to decide that, okay, I've reached out, enough, and now it's going to be up to them. But definitely, you can't just not say anything, you know what I mean? So I think it just depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Like if you, if this is your first or second time touching that coach, like with a message or whatever, then that's cool, but at some point you can't chase people. You can't, it exhausts you. I did that in the beginning of my business and I regret doing it because it wore me out and it didn't change anything, because unfortunately people have to want it for themselves. So I think you guys are both saying really important things that just, you have to decide when you're not going to continue to try to make someone do something that they don't want to do, but you definitely should try to engage them at least, in the beginning and try to get them connected.
Yeah, I think also I just want to say hi everyone too. I miss you guys. But yeah, both of you guys are saying some really great things too, and I think that's why I posted the thing a few days ago, as far as letting people know that, hey, I know that the page can be overwhelming at times, but just get to the posts, get to the business, get to whatever you can get to when you can. Okay, no one's trying to force you to do this business. No one's trying to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But we just want to let you know that we're here for you. Okay, because we've all been to some dark places. We've all been to places where we're questioning, hey, is this team really for me? Does this team really care about me? And I think it's important to know, or new coaches to see that, hey, we're still being active in this group and that we're here for you. And I think that's the most important thing. We're not going to bust anyone's balls or anything like that, but sometimes people need that. So, okay, so we're trying to, we don't know about everyone's personalities. Like Kim said, that there's over 100 people in the group. We don't know what everyone's personality is. So, some people might need an ass kicking. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some people might feel offended with some of the things that Kim says. Okay. But some, you know what I mean? So it's hard to make everyone happy, but as long as we are just out there being supportive and putting ourselves out there, someone who's ready is going to relate to it. Right. And someone who's right for this business too, I think, it's going to help them, So I just want to thank Kim for of course hosting the call, and you guys for showing up. It's good to see Shane on the call too, because I see people go in and out of the business, and I'm hardly on the calls because I never know where I'm at. I hardly have internet and stuff like that. So I wanted to put my 2 cents in and piggyback off of a lot of things that Kim was saying. But as far as like trying to engage and getting more of the team on the call, I think using the team call as like a call to action before and after a coach one-on-one is a good thing. Like, so say, for example, if your coach, a new coach on your team is saying, hey, could you, help me with this? I say, hey, well, that's a good question. Why don't we get on a team call this Thursday and we can talk about that. And then you can kind of give me your feedback on because these calls can answer a lot of those new coaches' questions. Okay, so the thing is that you don't want to try to answer every single question that your new coach has. Get them on a team call and have them ask the question on the team call. Let them know that that's the important piece of the puzzle here. Another thing too, because I don't want to be too serious about, our team calls aren't about being too serious, right? Because, like a new coach can be coming on our team call and say, this is like way too serious for me. You know what I mean? I want this, I thought this was a fun business. Okay. So I don't want you guys to forget that this is a fun business. It's really all about sharing, how active you are or, or inactive you are, your fun lifestyle, and getting just people curious about what you're doing, right? You don't want to post negative things on your Facebook. People are just like, man, unfriend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You want to show people how happy you are. Like you're playing with your family. You're running around the backyard with your 2-year-olds and or you're getting chased by your husband. I don't know, whatever. Just being active. You want people to see how happy you are because people want to be happy, right? Yep. People want happiness. People want health. People want to be healthy. Okay, so if you're showing that, you're not necessarily talking about Beachbody. Okay, we don't want to brand Beachbody, right, guys? We want to brand Jocelyn. We want to brand Shane. We want to brand Kim. Okay. You're not branding Beachbody. Beachbody's already branded, guys, right? Beachbody has their own business. They have their own CEO. What about you? It's time for you to be the CEO of your business, okay? Start branding yourself and just sharing people your lifestyle, your fun lifestyle. If you're not having fun right now, if you're not happy right now, okay, well, we've got programs and we have accountability groups to help you with that, okay? So if you're not ready for the business side of this, that's okay too. Okay, let us help you with the health and fitness side. I mean, that's how I started. I didn't start in this business going straight up gung-ho about the business, okay? And I'm still not a hardcore business person. I'm all into the health and fitness. So let's get you started with the health and fitness first and help you start gaining that confidence and then start kind of transitioning, going over the bridge and doing some of the business part of it, okay? But this business is fun, Okay, last thing. Okay, stay engaged with the group. This is your family. The question is, where else can you find a group of people who are vested into your success? We come from a negative world, right? And trust me, you guys need this group. Okay, like we're always talking about, we need to build this group. We need to build these team calls. But like Kim said, we have the same people on the calls, okay? So the missing piece is that, hey, we're not promoting this to our team. What we're trying to do is we're trying to answer the questions from our new coaches one-on-one all the time. Get them to be part of the group. Don't answer their question. Have them answer the question in the group. If it's on a Monday or something and the team calls not until Thursday and it can't wait, then of course, yeah, answer the question, help them out. But you want to try to show them how important it is to be part of the family and be part of the group, okay? Because you want to show that camaraderie that we do have within the team, okay? Because they're going to eventually, when it's just you and your coach, eventually they're going to leave because they're going to find you boring, all right? You get bored with certain people talking to them all the time. Okay, so when you get them engaged with a group, that'll be much better. So, anyways,
you can also if you have a coach that has a question and you think it's beneficial for the team, you can go live in Enduro. Like, there's nothing against going live in Enduro on a non-Thursday. Like, we used to go live all the time. I don't know why we don't. But if you have a question that you think the rest of the team will benefit from, like someone walking through the how to do a cart, and share it to somebody, you could get on there, do a Zoom call, share it live with the Enduro group. Like, nothing against any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shane, I like your idea actually of sharing our coach stories. That's might be something fun to do in the team page. I mean, honestly, I think that's a fantastic idea.
I just think a lot of times when people fall off the wagon, they just are embarrassed to come back, or
absolutely.
they don't know how to come back, or whatever it is. So I mean, it's just like we talk about following the top coaches and wondering, well, what the hell am I doing wrong? So it's going back and showing that for the first 2 years of my business, or the first 6 months, or the first 3 years of my business, I didn't do crap. But I continuously stuck around. I'm still here, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I mean, I think a lot of misconception that people have, and it's a mixture of wanting it done for them and whatever is they think it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they don't dig deep enough, because all the people, if you go out and Google Beachbody coach or top whatever, and you go this scratch the surface of that person, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to look easy. So then they say, hey, I want to be a Beachbody coach. And then when they get in and it's not what it is perceived to be, that's the time that they say, well, you know, it's not what you said it was going to be. I don't want to be a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's beneficial to know where everybody came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing is, like, you know, Arnell touched on it. Like, I didn't really understand what it was to desire someone else's success more than my own until I started leading a team of people. And it was like, what I can achieve almost becomes irrelevant. Like, I want them to see their goals materialize so much more, because I mean, if that's happening, then I mean, mine are going to happen by default, and that's fine. But like, it's just, and we should feel like that about each other. You know what I mean? Like, we should want each other success to be happening. So I think the really cool thing about Beachbody, the reason why the market isn't saturated, and it won't be, is because there's always going to be someone that is in a bad health situation. Unfortunately, that's just the state of our society at this point, especially in, you know, the US. And we all have a different story, a different life story, a different coaching story. And that's so powerful and so fantastic. And that's why it's never going to be saturated. It's never going to come to the point where I'm not going to have anybody to touch because Adrian took them all. Like, it's never going to happen, because Adrian's going to appeal to a completely different market than I am. And that's so fantastic. Every day someone else new is turning 18. Every day someone else new is discovering they have a health problems, you know? And so there's always going to be someone that needs us. And this is just, this business that we do, there's nothing like it. There's other companies that do similar things that we do, and they put themselves out there that they're elite. Y'all, we have something so special with Beachbody. It's so incredible. It's such a privilege to be able to do what we do. And we can't lose the fun of it. We can't, but we also have to be realists and know that it's going to take some work to build a business, you know, and focus. And that's, you know, kind of what we've been trying to do. And so I think just these little things of doing these little things, sharing our coach story, putting it out there, you know, showing how different we all are and how much we have to bring, is powerful. And, you know, there's just so much potential here. And I think that's probably the most frustrating part, is when the potential's there and it's not being, you know, materialized into something that's so amazingly like successful. It's just like that hump, you know, it just got to come over that hump. And I think this has been honestly a rough year for us as a whole. If we're honest, like, it's been a rebuilding year for several of us, a refinding year for several of us, a refocusing year. And that's okay. You know, as long as we come out learning something from it and moving forward, you're probably stronger at the end of something like that, you know? So it's actually really powerful to go through that kind of stuff. You're writing your story. You know, there's been so many moments in my business where I'm like, I want to quit, you know, it's hard, this is going on, that's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I remember when I used to come to Arnell with that, he'd be like, you're just writing your story. You know, one of these days you're going to do a national wake-up call or a bombshell call or something, and you're going to have a story to share. And someone out there is going to be able to say, you know what, that sounds just like me. I have hope, and it's going to, you know, I'm just going to hang in there. So just know, like, this team is awesome. You know, I think we need to just use some of these ideas. I love your idea, Shane. I think it's fantastic. And really just capitalize on the new year, you know, but don't lose that steam once we get into February, March, you know, keep that new year mentality going through the year.
The new 12 weeks, right?
New 12 weeks. That's right.
All right, guys, I have to leave, but I just want to say it was great seeing you guys. Thanks, Kim, for hosting and everything. If you guys need anything, you guys know how to reach me. Just message me anytime. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Anyone else have anything to add before we wrap up this call? super long.
Yeah, I'll just throw my 2 cents in.
Throw it in.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear from you.
No, I was just going to say, thank you, first of all, for the call, because even though I was not watching, I was listening, like I promised.
I couldn't see any of you, so it's okay.
But no, I think 2 things. What all of you were talking about, one of the things that kept hitting me was, I think what really hit me in the 12-week year so far was that whole piece of accountability, that we keep talking about holding people accountable and having accountable groups, but nobody can hold yourself accountable except yourself. And I think that's one of the things with, I don't have a team per se, but even with challengers, we can keep guiding them and we can keep educating them and we can support them, but they're the only ones that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's some of the frustration, because you want to just take them and say, do this, it'll be so much better if you do. But you can't, because even if you do that, they're not going to get it till they're ready. And I know personally, I shouldn't even admit it, but I've never gone through all the files in the training. I just still haven't. I started it and I stopped, and I started it and I stopped. And there's tons of crap I don't know about this business that, I was just thinking today, I'm like, should I get my husband signed up? And if I did, what is the difference between a weak and a strong leg? Because I still don't get it. There's just stuff I don't know. And that's my issue. That's my accountability for not ever going through and really digging. I didn't want to do these calls. Kim kicked my butt to get me on here one night and kind of shamed me into it. and I've come to really enjoy them and know that each week they do make a difference, and they do offer support for you, and they do get you thinking about what you're doing and moving yourself forward and not just staying stagnant. Mm-hmm. So I get where the new coaches are. I get it. I didn't want to do personal development. Didn't need it.
No.
And now I love it. I'm like walking into work, not wanting to turn off my phone because it's at a point that I really want to listen to what, somebody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's part of the whole learning process of figuring out what the business is, that it's so much more than just helping others. You have to help yourself through it too, and figure out where you're at so that you can do all those things and have your business work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Just my 2 cents.
I like it. Thanks for that.
Sure.
Anybody else?
Just another shameless PD plug. Something I picked up because of the grit. It's Flow, the psychology of the optimal experience. Talks a lot about getting into the zone and how people feel when you hear an athlete say, I'm in the zone, and what the psychology is behind that, and creating that in yourself and other people. So it's another, I'm really interested in the psychology of what we do. That grit kind of kicked that off. Human behavior, the optimal experience. I think as far as educational goes, starting digging deep into the psychology of things will help us not only in our coach groups but also in our challenge groups. Just like what was the flow, the emotional connection to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's something when you start a new challenge group that we can almost predict. Okay, after week two, I need to post this, and come upon the dreaded week 6, where everybody is bored with what they're doing. I need to post this or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the psychology of things, digging deep into why people do what, it's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
So much that I'm contemplating going back and getting a bachelor's and maybe a master's in psychology. There is a such thing as a positive psychology degree. So that's something I'm gonna look into once I get back. But PD, the flow, and I'll be doing a call on this probably January. I should be finished with this book this month. So I mean that's something I think I mentioned it before. Me and Adrian are doing. We're doing one personal development style book and then also one educational book. So something other than personal development. So it's really cool. I mean, it's just something that we're reading when we can. It's not like an everyday type thing. So be prepared for the flow.
Mhm.
Gina, Adrian, anything? Nothing? Everybody else has talked.
Just listening. I think we something Shane had said about the coach page. I was just thinking because I had my coaches cancel and stuff too, and they were discount coaches. But to clean up our group, are we actually taking people that are not out of it and whatnot? So that we actually can do some inventory to see what our team really does look like.
That's true.
I did that in my personal page this week. I was like, well, these people are still chilling in here. Bye, Felicia.
But I think it'll be difficult. I think probably the only person that can see everybody is probably Arnell.
No, whoever's an admin in there can see everybody.
Yep.
I'm talking about as far as going into the coach office and seeing.
Oh, you're talking about his downline? Yeah,
Yeah.
No, if you could take out your people.
your people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if each of the active coaches took out the people that are no longer coaches or want to be coaches, then we can see more of who's there.
Mm-hmm.
If they're actually a coach is still active,
Yeah,
haven't canceled it, I wouldn't recommend moving it because then they could still be watching and whatnot.
yeah.
I agree.
But if
Only
they'd
if
actually
legit
canceled their coach thing, then
We
they
need
need
to
to
make
be
a
out.
call to action to the group to say like, hey, active coaches, like go through your list and remove your non.
Yeah, Arnell used to do that every couple months.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a good jump off. Asking, and I think something that goes along with Kim's presentation as far as the ignorance portion, and maybe it's just something that, like Kim did in her group. These are the things that need to happen in the group. Who will take it on? So there might be something that we can do for the Enduro group. Hey, these are the tasks that we really need somebody to take in the group, and it might just spark something, even if nobody says anything. And start asking those type of leadership questions may spark some people to come out of the hole.
Yep.
So because you may hit somebody's wheelhouse, and okay, I'm really good at that. That's where I can contribute. And so I think between the coach stories, cleaning up the members list, and just continuously throwing out a small call to action for those people that are not active, we might just need to brainstorm on what type of things we need to post, and all of us take a particular thing and kind of harp on that. And so it's not always coming from one person. It's not always coming from Arnell or Kim or whoever.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah, delegation is the easiest way to knock out a bunch of tasks without overwhelming one person.
For real.
Yep, absolutely.
Bye, Jocelyn.
Bye.
Bye.
I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
My little phone is telling me I need to go to bed. So.
Yeah. I'm getting